Here are 3 reasons why you're overthinking and what you can do about it. This is Are You Happy TV. My name is Ife, and I just want to welcome you. Welcome. This is a channel where we're humanizing mental health. It is my goal to bring about an awareness to every person who watches to be able to say mental health is human, mental illness is human. And I want you to know that you don't have to be a clinical professional to join in on the conversation. You don't have to ever have been in a clinical professional's office to join in on the conversation. And here at Are You Happy TV, we are on a journey to open the dialogue and the discussion around what it means to be well, to be happy, to be whole, to be living a life that's meaningful. So if you're interested in joining that conversation, if you want to join us on this journey, hit the subscribe button so you never miss an upload. Okay, so let's jump right into it. 3 reasons why you're overthinking and what you can do about it. Number 1 is fear. I say fear because I'm talking about fear of the future, fear of people's opinions. We're always in this state where we're thinking 12 steps ahead of where we are. And oftentimes the fear of an outcome, especially an outcome that's negative, is what can drive that cycle of overthinking. Have you ever been in a place where you were wanting to step into something? Say you wanted to start a YouTube channel. Say you wanted to put a podcast together with your friends. Say you wanted to put out some of your art to the world, something that you've always wanted to do. And you find yourself in a position where you're just stuck. You just can't do it. I'm here to propose to you that the fear of the outcome being negative is what can keep us in a cycle of overthinking. These fears can vary. We can have fears where we're afraid that our efforts are going to be for nothing. We can be afraid that our time is going to be wasted. Even in a relationship, we could be afraid of being hurt. We could be afraid of our trust being betrayed. And these are things that will keep us in a cycle of overthinking. We'll overthink every little aspect of our actions. We'll overthink every little behavior. Have you ever been anxious about something and you find yourself in this position where you're almost feeling like paralyzed? You feel like the thoughts that are running through your mind are putting you in this position where you feel like you can't do anything in the situation. Like you feel like all you can do is just freeze. The fear is telling us that the outcome is going to be negative. I'm going to waste my time. I'm going to be hurt. I'm going to be betrayed. What if the outcome is negative? If you notice, we never think about what if the outcome is positive. And that's something we have to be more aware of. So number 1, one reason why you're overthinking, number 1 is fear. So what can we do about it? Now, this is what I would say. It is very, very important, and it might even feel like it's counterproductive. Some might even feel like, well, if I speak this thing out loud, I'm going to curse myself. Many people feel that way. But what I would say is, number 1, we have to put words to the things that we're thinking. If it's in writing it down, if it's in speaking it out loud, let's be aware. What are the thoughts that I'm having? Because without our awareness into it, we're just going to feel stuck. We're going to be stuck. And for that reason, those fears are going to overwhelm us. They're going to overtake us. They're going to overpower us. So first things first, we need to put words to the thoughts that we're thinking. And in that, now we have a choice in the matter. Before, we were just allowing these thoughts to consume us and to dictate our behavior without an awareness into it. But what we can do is we can write down, we can speak out the thoughts that are leading us to have that fear that grips us and keeps us in a cycle of overthinking. All right. 3 reasons why you're overthinking. Reason number 2 is our inclination towards perfectionism. Now, it's good to be a person who wants to do things excellently. But when it comes to perfectionism, this can be one of the most debilitating things that we can agree with as humans. Perfectionism says, no, it's not about excellence. It has to be done perfectly. And not only does it need to be done perfectly, it needs to be done perfectly the first time I do it. And hearing me say that out loud, you might think, that's silly. There's no way I think that way. But when you really think about it, we do think that way. This is what gets us stuck. Sometimes it can get us stuck in procrastination. But when it comes to overthinking, we are, if we're being honest, thinking that something has to be a particular way. That can keep us stuck in a pattern of overthinking without ever having to do anything. Now, as it relates to our perfectionism, it is okay to make a mistake, and it's okay to put something out. It's okay to try something and it not be even excellent the first time you do it. We have to ask ourselves, what am I thinking about the standard in which my actions and my behaviors need to be? So what can we do about our inclination towards perfectionism? Well, what I propose we can start to think about is start thinking about how realistic our expectations are that we put on ourselves. Sometimes the sense that we think everyone's gonna love us or that everyone is gonna like something that we do or say all the time is an unrealistic expectation. In fact, it's important to acknowledge that I might want to do something, I might want to share something, and it might not be something that everybody is so happy about. It might not be something that everyone is going to like. It might not be something that is perfect. I might make a video and it might not be perfect the first time. I might look back on something that I've done in 5 years and think, ooh, I regret doing it like this. I wish I would have done it that way. Is that okay? Is it okay for us to acknowledge that things are not always going to be the way that you want them to be, but doing your best, trying your best, and just doing the thing you want to do is going to move you forward toward that desire of creating something excellent. So, second reason why you're overthinking, inclination towards perfectionism. However, let's be aware of that. It's good to want to do things excellently, but perfectionism can be a huge reason why we overthink things. Okay, number 3 reason why you're overthinking and what you can do about it. Number third reason is people pleasing. People pleasing. I'm saying this from a position of like, I struggle with people pleasing. And what I think is important to be aware of is sometimes from a young age, our history, our upbringing, our parents, or the people around us maybe have trained us to be people pleasers. If you've ever been in a household where you had parents or guardians who sometimes had big reactions to things, or who got upset, or who maybe even blew up and had anger issues, what you internally feel as a child is that this is my responsibility. You feel that this person is angry because of you. Children can't really separate themselves from their environment or from the people around them, and they can't separate themselves from the treatment or behavior that they're being inflicted upon. So for that reason, when you're a child, you think that people around you and the things happening around you, good or bad, usually the bad things, it's because of you for whatever reason. So what we have to acknowledge is that we might feel like our inclination is to try to make everyone happy with us. And the reason why we feel that way is because we're taking responsibility for other people's behavior. We're taking responsibility for how people feel, how people think, in a way that we are not responsible for in reality. And that can make us overthink our actions when it comes to how we think socially, how we relate to other people, and how we allow other people to inform our actions. Now, it is when it's for the benefit of a relationship, when it's for the benefit of individuals, it is important to be willing to grow, compromise. It's good to be willing to do things differently for the sake of bettering a relationship, bettering your family, bettering your partnership with your husband or wife. However, when it is about allowing a perceived expectation of ourselves that was never even shared to dictate our behavior to our detriment, that's when it is something that's keeping us in a cycle of overthinking, and that's when we need to address that and do something differently. Usually we'll find that when we're overthinking about things, it is this idea that someone has an expectation of us that usually they've never communicated. They've probably never even, and to be honest, they might not have ever even thought that way. But our idea is that, oh, this person expects me to behave in this way, or this person expects me to behave in that way. Now, it could have also been something where something happened in the past, and now we're using a previous negative experience to inform our decisions today. And that also, we need to be aware of that. The first steps towards freedom is our awareness. And I'll say that until I'm blue in the face. The first step towards freedom is our awareness. Our awareness into why we do what we do. And in that, there can be so much freedom and so much choice in terms of what we choose, what thoughts we choose to dictate our behavior. All right, so there's your 3 reasons why you're overthinking and what you can do about it. Reason number 1 is fear. Reason number 2 is our inclination towards perfectionism. And reason number 3 is our tendency towards people pleasing. So there are going to be so many other videos that I'd love to share with you to be able to just talk more about. We could go on and on about fear in and of itself. We can go on and on about perfectionism in and of itself. So if you'd like to join me on this journey, click the subscribe button and you'll never miss another upload. All right, well, have a wonderful and happy day. Have a wonderful and happy life. This was Ife Sams, and we'll talk in the next video. Okay? Bye-bye.